Hare Krishna. Hello friends, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. This is Ritendra. I am preacher of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today I am going to talk about the chapter 3 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that is Karma Yoga, and by which we are going to understand what are our prescribed duty and what ought to do and ought not to do, what ought to perform and what ought not to perform. We have to decide, we have to understand. And Lord Krishna here stated by karma, there are two kind of karma, sakam karma and niskam karma. What are the definitions of sakam karma and niskam karma? We are going to understand. Before I start my lecture, I would like to introduce Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Sri Bhakti Vedanta Srila Mahaprabhu from ISKCON temple. And I would have to say Srimad Bhagavad Gita is neither religious book nor spiritual book, but in true sense, pure book of the science and humanity. And I am trying to propagate the humanity on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and trying to morally motivate to those people who are actually frustrated and attempted to commit suicide on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So let's get into chapter number 3, Karma Yoga. Here Arjuna Uvacha. Here Arjuna asked to Lord Krishna. Arjuna Uvacha. ज्यायसी चेत कर्मण्यस्ते मत्ता बुद्धि जनार्दनः त्यक्ति कर्माणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशवा. Here Arjuna asked, नियोजयसि केशवा. Here Arjuna addressed Lord Krishna as Kesav, O Janardan, O Kesav, O Madhav, O Madhusudan. Here Arjuna addressed to Lord Krishna, why do you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? Why do you want me to engage in this warfare? However, you think that, you stated that in previous chapter, you stated, if you think that intelligence is better than the fruitive work, Lord Krishna, you have already told me that intelligence is better than fruitive work. My mind is greater than, my intelligence is greater than my mind, and my mind is still greater than my senses, and the soul is greater than all things. If you control your senses, then you can easily control your mind. If you control your mind, then you can easily control your intelligence. If you control your intelligence, then your soul will directly be controlled and follow your intelligence order. So Lord Krishna here stated, means in previous chapter Lord Krishna stated, mind means intelligence is rather better than fruitive work. To engage yourself in the fruitive work, fruitive expectation, you all have to perform. Lord Krishna here stated, you all have to perform your prescribed duty without giving any expectation to get any kind of result, whether bad result or good result, whether getting success or failure. You have to leave success and failure to Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You have right to perform your prescribed duty, like karmanya vadikaraste ma phalesu kadachana माँ कर्म फल है तुर्भु माते संगो स्वकर्मणि. मीन्स कर्मणि अधिकारस्ते माँ फलेषु कदाचना माँ कर्म फल हेतुर्भु माते संगो स्वकर्मणि. The Supreme Personality of God, Lord Krishna, Madhav Mukunda Murari here stated constitution of the soul in the previous chapter. Lord Krishna stated about the constitution of the soul in the previous chapter, with delivering his intimate friend Arjuna from the ocean of the material grief. Lord Krishna here, this sansar, this material world is ocean of material griefs. There are many grievances, many griefs are there, many miseries are there in this particular material world. So how to overcome from this all the material things? Lord Krishna here stated, chant my holy name in this Kali Yuga, then you will directly reach to me. Like a sarva dharman paritejante mame ekam sarnam vajraha aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshasami masula. Here Krishna stated, Madhav Mukunda Murari stated, Sarva Dharman Paritejante, Mame Ekam Sarnam Vajraha, Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshasami Masula. Here Lord Krishna stated, abandon your all religious practices. Whatever practices you are performing, you have to abandon and just surrender unto me. Lord Krishna here stated, if you surrender unto me, you can directly reach to me. If you don't surrender unto me, then you will not reach to me. And in order to get my supreme abode, you have to totally surrender unto me with a love and dedication. Lord Krishna here stated, Arjuna here asked, why you want to engage me this particular warfare, ghastly warfare? Why you want to engage me? You have already stated the intelligence is better than the Prithvi works. Lord Krishna. Here Arjuna further asked to Lord Krishna here stated, Vyami Shrenam Vakyana Buddhi Mohasavi Meha Tadekta Vada Nishita Ena Shreyom Ham Apnaum. Here Arjuna asked to Krishna, my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instruction. Sometimes you have stated that you don't have to engage in this particular fruit of activities, and sometimes stated our intelligence is rather greater than anything. So I am confused. Now I am bewildered by your equivocal instruction. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Oh Madhav, oh Madhusudan, Kesava, Mukunda, Murari, hey Janardana, please tell me which one would be best for me, whether I have to engage in this particular warfare or not. You have to tell me. Lord Krishna, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Here Madhav, Madhusudan, Krishna here stated to Arjuna about what ought to do and what ought not to do in our life. This is equally important in our daily life. It's what kind of duty we have to perform and what kind of duty we have to avoid. What kind of duty we have to avoid means what kind of act or work we have to avoid and what kind of act or work we have to perform. Here Lord Krishna stated. And this is the supreme instruction of Lord Krishna, which one was given to Arjuna before more than 5,000 years ago. And in this current scenario, in the 2022, in this current scenario, in the 21st century, here this is equally important and equally applicable, implemented, easily implemented. If you really want to implement, then we can easily implement these all things. Here Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, लोके से दिव विधिय नित्य पूरा प्रोक्तम मया नदः ज्ञान योगेन सांख्य योगेन कर्म योगेन योगिनाम. Here Krishna stated, ज्ञान योगेन सांख्य योगेन कर्म योगेन योगिनाम. ज्ञान योगेन सांख्य योगेन कर्म योगेन योगिनाम. Without Sankhya Yoga, there is no value of Karma Yoga, and there is without Karma Yoga, there is no value of Bhakti Yoga, and without Bhakti Yoga, there is no value of Jnana Yoga. ज्ञान योग से ही परमात्मा की श्री कृष्ण की प्राप्ति होती है. पर मेरे विश्व रूप का दर्शन करना ही वास्तविक ज्ञान है अर्जुन. Here Lord Krishna stated, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Oh sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of the men who try to realize the self. Self-realization is too much important in our daily life. Without understanding yourself, you are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of God and Lord Krishna and even this material world. In order to understand this material world, we have to understand who we are and what kind of duty we have to perform. What is the objective of our life? We have to understand this thing." Here Lord Krishna stated, I have already explained you. There are two classes of the people there are two classes of the men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical knowledge of Sankhya Yoga or philosophical speculation, and other by devotional services. Jnana Yogena, Sankhya Yogena, Karma Yogena, Yoginam. There are two kind of people who are trying to understand themselves only. By the first category is the person who want to understand by Sankhya Yoga, understand the actual soul. Soul is different from the body. This is a Sankhya Yoga. And the karma and the devotional practices. Lord means I have to perform all the devotional practices through my body. And there is equivalent things, means there is a balance between the soul and the body, and by which I have to establish my soul and my body into the Supreme Personality of God and Lord Krishna. There is a Bhakti Yoga and Sankhya Yoga. There are two kind of people who are trying to get a self-realization. First one is the people who actually involved in the Sankhya Yoga and the people who are actually involved in the Bhakti Yoga. There are two kind of way. Lord Krishna here explains Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. There is a Karma Yoga. In the Sankhya Yoga and in Bhakti Yoga, the karmas are always there. We can't even make ourselves free from the karma. We all have to indulge ourselves in the karma, and we have to get ready to get a result of our karma. We can't escape from our duties. We can't run away from our duties. We have only two options. Either we will perform our duty and we will not perform our duty. We will not have any third option in between. Lord Krishna further stated, "Na karmana anardhanam, ne karmaniya purusho sunte, न चे संन्यास न देव सिद्धि samgadhi achati. If you not perform your prescribed duty, then you will never get the supreme abode of Lord Krishna. You will never get the salvation. You will never means you are not able to make yourself free from this material world. You will have to you will have to take a birth again and again and also die again and again. You are not able to make yourself free from the cycle of the birth and death. Here, not by merely, listen it very carefully, Sankhya Yoga is not enough, and without Bhakti Yoga there is no Sankhya Yoga, and without Sankhya Yoga there is no Bhakti Yoga. Both are associated with each other. Not merely abstaining from the work can one achieve the freedom from the reaction. Not by merely abstaining from the work can one achieve the freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation. कर्म का त्याग करने से या कर्म नहीं करने से the person will not achieve, the person is not make himself free from the result of the reaction of the particular karma, and alone can attain the perfection. That person will never attain. Means if the person who is in the Sankhya Yoga without Bhakti Yoga and without not performing his prescribed duty, that person will never attain the perfections. The supreme perfection is required. The supreme self-realization is required in order to understand the supreme personality of Godhead, in order to make ourselves free from the cycle of the birth and death. We don't have to take a birth again and again. So in order to make ourselves free from the cycle of the birth and death, we have to understand, we all have to perform our prescribed duty. That's what we have to understand. Without performing our prescribed duty toward our family, toward our society, toward our nation, toward the humankind, we are not able to get a perfection. Lord Krishna further stated, Nahi कश्चिनापि जातु तितिक्षय अकर्मण करता कार्यते ही अव्यसे कर्म सर्वः प्रकृति जहिर गुणः. Here Lord Krishna stated, everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the quality he has acquired from the mode of the material nature. There are three modes of the material nature which are mainly responsible for our karma, for our duty. Listen it very carefully. Rajas, Tamas and Sattva gunas. Three gunas are responsible for our karma. What kind of duty we will perform, this all can be decided by three modes of material nature. And three modes of the material nature, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva guna, more or less associated with each other and make our nature and behavior. We will behave according to three modes of the material nature, and we will perform our prescribed duty. Even we will develop the faith according to three modes of the material nature. If we are having the tamogun, then we will behave like an animal. If we will have a rajogun, then we will behave like the person who are actually greedy and a miserable person. The person we will never happy neither in this world nor in the next world. And the person who is in Sattva Guna, that person will definitely associate with Lord Krishna. And the person who is always worshipped to other people and respect to the other people. So we have to develop Sattva Gunas rather than Tamogun and Rajogun. Because we are behaving like this. Lord Krishna further stated, Karme indriyani sanyam ya aste mansa smaranam. इंद्रियाणि विमुदात्मान मिथ्याचार च उच्यते. Mithyachar is only acting. The person who is not abandoning the result of the reaction of his karma, that person is only acting of the renunciation of the work, one who restrains the senses by action. Listen it very carefully. One who restrains the senses by action, but whose mind dwells on the sense of object, whose mind dwells on the sense of the object, certainly delude himself and is called a pretender. That kind of person is called pretender, whose mind is dwell in the sense of the object, but that person has restrained himself for the sense of the action. We don't have to restrain ourselves in the sense of the action, like we don't have to do it. If we perform means if we don't perform our prescribed duty, then we will never come out from the particular things. We will not able to get experience of the particular of the performing the particular duty, and no one can make himself free from the cycle of the birth and death without performing prescribed duty toward the society, toward the people, because for that particular purpose we have born, and we just have to understand why we have taken a birth in this material world. What is the objective behind our birth? What is the purpose behind the birth? We have to understand. That is only called self-realization. Lord Krishna further stated, Yasata indriyani manasaha niyamya bharat arjuna karmendriyani karma yoga sataka savisishyate. Yeah, Lord Krishna further stated, on the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begin karma yoga in a Krishna consciousness, the person who is in Krishna conscious, that whatever that person performs his or her duty, there is no duty of that particular person who are actually dwell in the Krishna consciousness. Without attachment, he is the far superior. That person is a far superior. Lord Krishna further stated, Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jaya hi akarmana sarira yatrapi chatena parisaddate natu akarmana. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jaya hi akarmana sarira yatrapi chatena parisaddate natu akarmana. Perform your prescribed duty. Parth, Arjuna, Prutha Putra, Kante, perform your prescribed duty. For doing is so better than not working. Means working is better than not working. And one can't even maintain one's physical body without work. One even can't maintain his physical body without work. You are not able to maintain your physical body without performing your prescribed duty. So it's your right to perform your prescribed duty in order to maintain your physical body. Without functioning, without performing a prescribed duty, you are not able to maintain your body, and by medium of the body, your soul will never get a realization. So you have to engage yourself in the performing of your prescribed duty. यथानि कर्माण्यो अंतरे लोकासी कर्म बंधनः तदर्थ्य कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संजय समाचार. The samachar here Lord Krishna stated, do perfectly samachar. Whatever duty, whatever prescribed duty are there, you have to do. You have to perform it in a perfect manner. Without perfect manner, you are not able to do so. And work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in the material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, Lord Krishna's satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from the material bondage. If you perform your prescribed duty in order to satisfy the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Person of God and Lord Krishna, at that time, you will definitely make yourself free from the material bondage. Saha yagya praja srushta purovacha prajapati अनेन प्रसविद देमेश इव वो वस्त ita ista kama dukha. Here Lord Krishna stated, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord, all the creatures sent forth the generation of the man and demigods, along with the sacrifice for Vishnu and blessing by saying, be though happy by this yajna, sacrifice yajna is required, because its performance with the bestow upon you everything desirable for the living happily and achieving liberation. In order to get a liberation, you have to perform your prescribed duty. This is the important of the performing of the prescribed duty. There are two kind of the karma. There is a sakam karma and niskam karma. Sakam karma are only those karma by which there is expectation and the desires of the fruitive results are associated. And there is a niskam karma, there is a expectation, without any expectation, without any desire of the fruit of action, fruit of activities, fruit of the karma. There is no expectation of the getting fruit of karma. So that kind of karma is known as a niskam karma. We all have to perform our prescribed duty. We all have to perform niskam karma without keeping any expectation, because our desire, our expectation are only responsible for our material bondage. Like ध्यायतो विश्यान पुंसः संग सेतु पजायते संगात संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो भिञ्जायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोह सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रम स्मृति हिंसात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति। तो फल की आशा से कामना प्रकट होती है। पार्थ, कामना का स्वभाव है असंतोषी। असंतोष के कारण क्रोध जन्म लेता है, क्रोध के कारण मोह जन्म लेता है, मोह के कारण व्यक्ति आचार और व्यवहार का ज्ञान ही भूल जाता है, ज्ञान के जाने से बुद्धि चली जाती है, अनुचित प्रकार के कार्य होने लगते और अंत में ऐसा व्यक्ति का पूर्ण रूप से पतन हो जाता है। पार्थ, so therefore you have to perform your prescribed duty without keeping any expectation, because your desire, your expectations are called maya, and maya are only responsible for your material bondage. And why people would commit suicide? Because something will not happen as per his or her expectation or desire. Then if something will happen as per our expectation or desire, then we will be very happy. If something will not happen as per our expectation desire, we will definitely get sadness or miseries. So we have to understand we all have to perform a prescribed duty without any expectation. If the expectations are not there, then whether we will success or failure, then we will definitely equipose in all condition. We will neither get happiness nor get distress. We will be neutral. We will neutralize ourselves, our soul, our body, and as well as our mind, and as well as our intelligence. So this is what we have to understand. I hope you all can understand. If you are having any questions, any doubt, then please kindly put a comment. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.